Welcome back to Houston Life. He's a psychic medium, a spiritual messenger, and affectionately known as the internet's gay uncle. I'm talking about Travis Holp, and he's built a following with his heartfelt humor, authenticity, and your mission to heal.
And a brand new book on the way, which we will get to, but his Dead Serious tour kicks off tonight at the Houston Improv.
Yay.
Travis, everyone needs a gay uncle. We're so glad you're here today.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here.
You have a fascinating life, and later we're going to talk about some of the science behind your brainwaves and why you have this gift. But tell us, how old were you when you realized that you were just a little bit different?
Yeah, so when I was about 6 years old, my grandmother and I would play with the Ouija board, and I would tell her, be like, you know, things get really loud when we play with this. And, you know, things like Ouija boards or tarot cards or crystals, they're like little amplifiers. They're not necessarily the thing that's bringing through the communication, but they do amplify. And so, you know, so my grandmother, I sat down with me and I told her, I was like, it gets really loud when we play with this. And she goes, I know, and it's okay, me too. And so my grandmother knew as well. And so that was just kind of like our little thing for a while.
So after it was your little thing, I mean, because you have to grow, you keep aging. What was it like having this gift in adolescence and then in your teens and then as an adult? What has that been like?
Yeah, so I just would happen to know things that I would have no way of knowing. And then I would get, I don't drink anymore. I've been sober from alcohol for about 5 years. But back when I drank, I would get drunk and whip out the tarot cards. And I don't recommend drinking and divinating. But I would like talk to my friends. Like, do you have this person that's like crossed over or passed? And then, you know, the next day I'd wake up, my friends would be like, do you like remember what happened last night? I'm like, and I did. You know, and so it was kind of like my little secret for a bit. And then when I got sober, I left a 17-year career in the beauty industry. I decided to come out of the broom closet, so to speak.
Oh, out of the broom closet.
Yeah, well, I don't come out of the other closet, because if you don't know, then that's on you.
Good one. That's very good. The world is full of skeptics, and I can imagine it might feel, I don't know, like maybe a bit exposing to start sharing this gift with people. Was there ever a time you felt nervous to let people know that you had this gift? But also, once you started sharing it, you got responses from really around the world.
Yeah, it was really scary at first. And it doesn't really scare me because I feel so aligned to this work. But, you know, there is still that part of me that's like, okay, we've got to show up and be seen, because it's really being super vulnerable with a big part of yourself that you're sharing with the world. But I tend to take myself out of it, typically if I'm feeling nervous about it, just because my ego's in the way and I'm making it about me. And this work really isn't about me. It's about delivering messages from the other side and helping people along their own healing journey and helping them move forward.
So for this Dead Serious show, what can people expect? Because you have a process, you have a certain approach. How does that work?
Yeah, so when I am doing a live event, I get on stage and then I just start delivering messages, and I work evidentially, meaning I'm receiving who the person was, how they may have passed, special signs, symbols, and memories, things like that. And then, you know, I blend in some humor in there as well, because I'm, you know, I like to make people laugh, but also our departed loved ones also want us to laugh. And a show like this, you can imagine there's a lot of grief, there's a lot of heavy moments that come through, but there's also a lot of joy. And I like to tell stories from readings as well.
Yeah.
And when you're giving someone revealing information about a deceased loved one, you have no idea how they're going to respond. I mean, it could be very sad. It could be joy. You have to be prepared to handle anything.
Yeah, we were in Oklahoma and I was doing a reading for a gal and I couldn't see her. She was all the way in the back, but you know, we were connecting with her departed aunt. I'm like, your departed aunt keeps showing me these confetti cannons going off. And she was like, yeah, we set off confetti cannons at her grave. And then I was like, and she's holding up, she's telling me to tell you to grab life by the and she whips out this keychain that has that on there, and she goes, my aunt got me this before she died. And it's like those things that it's like, you can't Google it, you can't guess it.
There's no way you would know
that. Yeah, and I just share. I have no idea. I go out there with no plan, no script, no agenda, just hoping, praying to God, someone shows up and wants to talk to somebody in the audience, and thank God it happens every time. So.
Yeah. Whew. I mean, we all miss people that have departed and maybe gone too soon.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of you because you say in the last year things have really exploded for you. You have a book deal. Tell people about this book deal.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So this is a total manifested moment. I have wanted to write books since I was a kid. And so when the opportunity came up to write this book called Are You There, Spirit? It's me, Travis, I jumped on it. I feel so grateful to be able to share some of these stories of readings, but also my own journey. I never want to position myself as the person who knows everything. I certainly don't have all of the answers. And to be honest with you, I'm still learning my lessons like everybody else. I don't get a free pass just because I talked to the departed. And so this really talks about my own journey and growth and healing as well. And there's some pretty like raw moments in there. I shared it with one of my friends and I'm like, oh, this isn't that big of a deal. And she read it. She was like, are you sure you want to share that? I was like, well, it's too late now. It just went to copy.
It's printed and it comes out in November.
Yes.
So if you guys want to go read that, that's when you can pick Are You There, Spirit? It's me, Travis.
Yes.
So good.
Yes.
So good.
You are, in addition to doing this tour, which I know is grueling, you're going to be on the road for quite some time before you transition into book tour mode. So you're really reaching audiences all over the place. You're still finding time to meet with people one-on-one and do readings, is that right?
I still do one-on-one sessions. I have some today after this before I go do the live show, and then I see them a couple of times throughout the week, because that's a big, important part of my work is connecting with people one-on-one. The shows are great, and the shows are fun. I like to think of it as transfertainment. Like if you're not ready for a full reading, but you want something, just a little something to get your feet wet, it's great. But one-on-one client sessions are great because we can dive in a little bit deeper as well.
That's incredible. You have millions of followers on TikTok, on Instagram, all across social media. What do you think it is that's landing with these people? You start every video. Hi, honey, my name is Travis. I'm a medium. I have a message for you. If you're not down with mediums, just consider me your gay uncle who knows a lot of S.
You're so good at that.
You are.
Yeah, you know what? I just show up on the internet and I just share what, sometimes it's what I need to hear. Sometimes I think, if my nephews were coming to me, what advice would they need in a certain moment for dealing with things like self-worth or wanting to manifest or relationships, which I have no clue about. I'm single forever, right? So, but the thing is that, I just show up with just my whole heart in it and just hoping that it reaches someone.
That's really, really beautiful. Okay, sit tight, folks, because after the break, psychic medium and author Travis Holp will have more. We got to look at those brain scans because I want to see how your brain is different than our brains.
Yes.
We're going to have a look when Houston Life returns. Don't go away. We are back with psychic medium and author Travis Holp. Tonight, he is kicking off his second national tour at the Houston Improv. It is called the Dead Serious Tour. You've been inspiring audiences all over the world. If you're just joining us too, Travis's upcoming book, Are You There, Spirit? It's Me, Travis, drops November 4th later this year. You can pre-order now. This is a beautiful, beautiful cover. Okay, before the break, we were chatting about your brainwaves. And again, there are skeptics out there. Some people might not believe that you have this gift. But tell us what happened in the brain scan.
So when we were scanning my brain, so I had an EEG, which is where you put the little cap on your head. And then the doctor who did it, he measured my brain, which is that top row that you see in my activity. And then that bottom row is like me measured against like an average brain. So there's some increased for me in the theta state, which is a slower state. We typically produce theta waves when we are sleeping or we're in deep trance states or deep meditation. And so wherever you see that yellow or red, that's where you see an increase. Blue for me would be a decrease. And so for me, my brain is kind of just constantly in this theta state, this kind of this dream-like state, which could be interpreted as me between this physical reality and then the spirit world. And then what we did, we have another really great picture of me giving a reading versus just me in regular conversation. And so he measured my brain waves while I gave a reading versus me in regular conversation. And again, where you see that red, yellow, and then that kind of that gray area, that's a massive increase in those brainwave states when I'm giving a reading. So you see in delta, which is where we hit typically when we're in deep sleep, my brain is producing all of these slower waves while I'm active and having a conversation and talking like this.
Wow.
So even if you are skeptical, which is totally fine, I welcome skepticism. I think that's healthy, but there's no denying that something is going on because you can't fake an EEG.
No,
so,
you can't.
You know.
We were talking in break. We were like, is it ever an inconvenience? You know, if you're on a plane in the grocery store where you have, you know, a spirit that maybe is kind of, you know, maybe won't leave you alone, or is telling you to do something or say something.
Yeah, it's not. Who has the father figure that's departed?
Well, both of us, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to say I've been sitting with somebody's father before I even came out. Who's the J name, or where's the connection to the J name connected to the father figure? Names from your first, middle, or last.
Well,
mine's
big.
Yeah, George.
Big
right?
George.
Yeah, George.
Okay. And then and then there's a brother for him. Which father figure has the brother?
My dad has a lot of brothers.
Okay,
yeah.
there's one that's also departed with him. You understand this?
It could be on my side.
Yeah, it
I mean, but I don't know. I was never really connected to that side of the family.
Okay, so he's just making me aware of just the brother that's also departed. And your dad's departure, it was a sudden departure?
Correct.
Okay, so and he is restricting my breathing, which means you weren't able to say goodbye to him prior to his departure. You understand this? Okay, so he's just wanting to say, one, come through with an apology for you, to let you know, I'm sorry that I couldn't be there. He's letting me know he's gone through life review. Life review is when they see their life that they lived through your eyes. So he experienced it, he is aware of that neglect, the disconnection in the relationship. It's an acknowledgement, which I think sometimes is better than an apology. And then we also have the dog that's departed. Who has the dog that's departed and there's like an S name connected to it? Or who has the pet with the S name that's departed?
I'm trying to think.
don't really have
on his
pets.
side,
Oh,
no.
Who has like where's like the Shirley or the Cheryl? Where's the S name that's departed?
Oh, there was my mom's father was Shirley. But,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then do we also understand mom having a dog that would be departed? There's an animal over there with Shirley. So see if there's a dog.
Maybe Felix. Yeah.
Okay. So they're literally guiding me over to Shirley. His name was Shirley. Are you serious?
I'm serious.
I love that. So there's this Shirley that they're making me aware of. And then please know that there's also a pet there. And then who is the Gemini? Gemini is the birthday between May 22nd and June 22nd. And that would be birth date or anniversary of passing.
Between May what and June?
May 22nd and June 22nd.
So that would be his wife, my grandma.
Okay, so please understand he's just acknowledging the grandma, or it's just acknowledging his wife. And then do you understand, does mom connect, or how do we connect butterflies connected to mom or connected to the departed loved one that mom would connect with? Is there a sister for mom?
No, all brothers.
Okay, where is the sister that's departed or the aunt that's departed?
Oh, well, there is I do have an aunt who's departed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then who's the L name? Who's like the Lee or the Lisa or the Linda? Who's the L name?
Oh, I can't think. This is like
you have to rack your brain.
the
through
extended
everything.
family relationships for me, Travis, are a little non-existent.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And so it takes me a minute to kind of retrace some of our steps. I also had 26 first cousins just on my mom's
Oh
side
my
alone.
goodness.
A lot of siblings in that
Okay.
Mormon family.
So just so you know, so these are some of the things that are coming through. Take what I gave you. If it doesn't connect, that's okay. But sometimes what happens is after reading, it's like, oh my God, that was Aunt Linda, or that was so-and-so. So I just want to let you know about those connections that are there for you, okay?
My goodness. Wow.
That is intense.
Too little, too late, Dad, but thanks for the message. No, I'm kidding, Travis. I'm totally kidding. Travis Holp, you have a gift, and it's just fun hanging out with you and chatting. It is
Well,
so rare.
thanks.
Yeah. People are going to have fun at the improv tonight.
It's going to be a great time tonight.
Yeah, tonight. I was just on the website, and there are just a couple tickets left. So if you are interested in seeing Travis live tonight or connecting with him online, you can visit our website, HoustonLife.tv. Look for that scene on Houston Life section. I wish we had a full hour to have this conversation. To continue it,
Yes.
You are a fascinating person, Travis. I'm so glad you stopped by.
Well, thank you both for having me. It was great to meet you both.
It was our pleasure.
And congrats on the book. Drops
Thanks.
November 4th.